Hello everybody, how you doing? I wanted to do this video for a long time, but I never really just got around to it. I finally ended up writing some notes down. Myself and a couple other people from the community on our Discord came up with a few key points. Even more than that, I'm really interested to see what you guys suggest in the comments. First one is music. I feel like that's probably a very, very obvious answer. But back in the day when I used to really trip, I would almost every single time make a mixed CD. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's how long ago it was. Don't get me wrong, there was like MP3 players and stuff like that, but I would specifically make a mixed CD specifically for my experiences. I would put certain songs. I actually wrote a list of songs. The thing is like, you don't want songs that you think that you would normally listen to. Like for me, at least, a lot of other people like listening to like hip hop and things that they listen to on the daily. But for me, I really enjoyed listening to weird shit that you wouldn't have thought of. Like the Blues Clues theme song that just came to my mind, like random shit like that. The list that I wrote was My Heart Will Go On. A beautiful, amazing fucking song. The Pure Imagination song from Willy Wonka, or the song from the boat scene when they go through the tunnel. Terrifying. The song The End by The Doors. Fucking amazing, dude. If you've never listened to the song The End by The Doors, the unedited version, while tripping balls, you have not lived yet. Any song from the Beatles. Most songs, like 90% of their songs, are going to be perfect. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, the entire album. I wrote that down as well. There absolutely is thousands of other songs and ideas that other people have, and I'm super curious to see them. Music is amazing. I feel like in doing these trip stories and reading other people's experiences, I've seen that music, for whatever reason, tends to calm trips down in a sense that you are not, it relieves anxiety, it relieves stresses, it relieves worries. It kind of gives you a wave to kind of guide you through your experience when people's voices, don't matter, and when your own voice and inner voice don't matter. The music, the sound of the rhythm guides you. And I think that's why music is so beautiful. Obviously, you're not going to make mixed CDs now. I don't think people do that anymore. But you can make a Spotify playlist or something like that. And this is something that you would want to do beforehand. My second key point that I wanted to write down was water a plant. I know that might sound kind of weird, but like literally, I remember multiple times watering a plant or watering my grass while on acid. And basically feeling like I was appreciated for it. Obviously, it's a common thing that you are much more in touch with nature when on psychedelics. So being more in touch with nature and at the same time legitimately feeding nature and helping it to grow is an amazing feeling. So this one is kind of like a more obvious one too, but I think that if you're going into a psychedelic experience with the right intentions, which is kind of hard to go into an experience with intent, but if you want to, I think intentions and expectations are different. You can intend to have a good experience and enjoy what you're going through, but don't expect a certain thing to happen. Don't expect it. You know what I mean? I know that that's kind of like a play on words, but this is kind of what makes sense to me. And if you go in with the right intention, meditating can be one of the most therapeutic things to do. Meditating on acid or any psychedelic can be one of the most therapeutic and amazing things you can do for your life, your mental health, your future, and more. Think about your life. Think about the people who are in it. Think about who you are and what you want out of your life and what's holding you back from being the person you want to be. LSD in particular allows us to get in touch with the tools in our minds deeper than we normally do. Take those tools out of your brain and use them. Play with them. Put them back in a different order with a different purpose. This is the best advice I can give. And honestly, when it really comes down to it, this is what is going to help you the most. Sit there, meditate, think. And before you know it, an hour will go by. But the thoughts you have and the realizations you come to can change your life. Because it's happened for me multiple times. Just be sure to also understand you can also come to realizations that are absolute bullshit. So that's why I'm saying, when you take these tools out, or these moments or ideas out, or parts of your soul and your life out, don't necessarily hold grasp onto them too hard, but choose to put things back together the way you want. You're not going to come to this crazy realization on acid, you know? You can and you will, but the learning process of it is not necessarily these random realizations and epiphanies, but it's being able to take those realizations and epiphanies and create something new and someone new with it. So that is my best advice. I know that's not as fun as the Willy Wonka Pure Imagination song, but that's definitely the best advice I can give you. The next key point would be to pet your pet. Go talk to him or her. Sometimes you feel a lot of judgment from them. Sometimes they look like your best friend, and like you finally are able to play with them how they've always wanted to play with you. You know, there are different experiences when it comes to pets and things like that. But in my experience, I've noticed that they're amazing. They're just little creatures who are just want to dispense love to you, unless they're a cat. Then you got to earn their love. That's one thing I've noticed, not to go off on a tangent here, but we got a cat recently. We've had a cat for like 3 weeks now. And it's like, I feel like I'm about to become a cat person. Dogs are little sluts. You know, I love them. They're beautiful. I love dogs, but they're little whores. They will give anyone and everyone their love and attention for the most part. Some dogs are dicks, but for the most part, dogs just want to love their owner. Cats don't give a shit. You can be the best cat owner alive. You still got to earn their affection. They play hard to get, and I like that. Cheers. This right here is also another one of my big ones. Anytime that I've tripped, you know, especially for like, you know, 5-6 hours in, when you start to come down or whatever, I always like to watch a movie. I feel like it's a great way to unwind. It's a great way to allow your trip to be somewhere else, if that makes sense. Like allow your trip to kind of like take shape, or like just let go of it in a way. Just watch this movie and let your trip be involved in the movie. There's literally movies that are made to be watched when you're tripping. But honestly, there's also movies out there that have nothing to do with psychedelics or tripping, and they are some of the best movies you could ever watch. A couple suggestions for me that I've actually watched while on acid is Yellow Submarine, the animated Beatles movie, Across the Universe, which is like a musical type of movie with Beatles music. That is amazing. As well as a movie called Enter the Void. Enter the Void, honestly, I had to turn off halfway through because it started making my trip kind of go like a little south. And last key point, this is one of the most amazing experiences that you could have on acid. And I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate it, or have ever even seen it, because they've never really focused on it. There is a light show in your head, even when you're sober. If you close your eyes right now in a sober state of mind, and you really focus right here on the center of where you think your eyes would be, and you sit there and you focus and you allow the colors to come in and designs, you can legitimately see an amazing fucking light show visualization in your brain. When you're on psychedelics, this show becomes fucking fireworks. I remember the first time I really understood this. I was in the passenger seat of my cousin's car, and we had just got done taking acid at the park down the street from my dad's house. There is a video of that you can check out. Check it out in the card up to the right. I remember sitting in the passenger seat, and this insane fucking visualization was happening in my brain, and it was like I was actually able to change the visualization and the effects and what I was seeing based on the song. And as I got deeper and deeper into it, I felt like I was controlling it even more, and I was making the designs. I was creating them. It was like I understood that there was like this creation that was happening in my brain that I was able to, I wouldn't say control, but I would say like guide. I got so sad when it started to fade away. I legitimately just wanted to sit there with my eyes closed and do nothing else. And it's a trip, because the more I've experienced that and the more I've, seen it, the more I can do it and see it, even when I'm sober. It's not nearly as strong or nearly as intense, but if I really focus, I can close my eyes and see that same pattern and same design happening. Does that make me psychotic? I don't think so. I think that's something that's there. I'm sure that there's a word for it. I'm sure that there's people who know a lot more about it in the comments right now, which is really cool because you guys can kind of educate me. Is there a word for that? Is there something, to meditating and seeing that visualization in your head? Is that an experience you guys have had? Either way, guys, those are my key points, my ideas of things you can do when you're on your acid trip. One of the major things I would say is plan it out. Control your setting. Be at a good place during a good time. Know what you're doing. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any suggestions of your own, let us know in the comments down below. Check out the join button. The join button allows you to become a member of the channel here on YouTube and actually helps support the channel as well. It's a big help. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be happy, be yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.